All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something hidden. It's happening right under the surface of a fast-growing Texas town, and it's a constant, invisible battle that could be threatening your home's plumbing right now.
So, what is it about Hutto, Texas that makes its plumbing so tricky? I mean, from the outside, it looks like another great, booming suburb, right? But what you don't see, what's happening just below your feet, is a whole different story. We've got this unique mix of environmental and, even historical forces, turning what should be a simple leaky faucet into a potential, full-blown catastrophe. So we're going to unravel this thing, this unique plumbing puzzle, because it's so much more than just pipes and water. We're going to look at everything, the weird geology, the specific water chemistry, and even how the town was built, to really get why the plumbing here is just so vulnerable. Okay, get this. Right now, below your home, there are 3 invisible forces at work. I'm talking every single day. Whether you know it or not, your plumbing is basically in a fight with these powerful, unseen enemies. All right, let's meet the culprits. I like to call them Hutto's 3 core antagonists. You've got the ground, the water, and the pipes themselves. We're talking about the very dirt your house sits on, the water coming out of your taps, and those old pipes hiding in the walls. And trust me, together, they create the absolute perfect storm for plumbing disasters.
And this chart really breaks it down, doesn't it? It's like a 3-front war. You've got the expansive soil, that blackland prairie clay, literally cracking foundations and breaking pipes from the outside. Then you've got the hard water, which is just choking your pipes from the inside out. And finally, you've got the old pipes from houses built in the 70s and 80s just giving up. It's an attack from all sides.
So, let's talk about this soil, the blackland prairie soil. Think of it like a giant, powerful sponge under your house. When it's dry, it shrinks way down, but when it rains, it swells up with incredible force. This constant movement, this shrinking and swelling, puts a ton of pressure on your home's foundation. And what happens to the pipes inside that foundation? Sooner or later, snap. Okay, on to antagonist number 2, the water. Hutto's water is super hard, which means it's packed with minerals. Over time, these minerals build up inside your pipes. It's literally like cholesterol hardening in your home's arteries. It just chokes off the flow, makes your water heater work way harder than it should, and can lead to a total blockage. Not good.
And our final villain, well, this one's a real ticking time bomb, especially if you're in an older Hutto home. Galvanized pipes. Back in the day, they were standard, but they have this fatal flaw. They corrode from the inside out, so you have no idea it's happening. You can't see the damage until your water pressure suddenly tanks, or worse, a pipe just bursts inside your walls.
So you might be thinking, wow, with all that going on, a big disaster is pretty much guaranteed. And, well, not exactly. Here's the good news. Most disasters actually give you warning signs before they happen. Your house will usually, whisper for help long before it starts screaming.
And this is the big question for you, right? Do you recognize those subtle signs? I want you to think about your own home for a second. Are there weird sounds, little things you've just been brushing off as old house noises? Because they might be a lot more important than you think.
Okay, let's run through some of these common warning signs. You hear a gurgling sound from your toilet? That's not just a weird quirk. It could be a sign your main sewer line is getting blocked. Sinks and showers draining super slow? Another big one. Funky smells? Yeah, you get the idea. And a big one, an unusually high water bill? That could be a hidden leak. These aren't just little annoyances, people. They're basically SOS signals from your house.
So what happens if you ignore those whispers? If you just let it go? Well, that's when you get to the big stuff. Let's talk about the 4 most common home headaches that are the direct result of everything we've just discussed.
First up, the dreaded slab leak. This one is brutal, and it's caused directly by that shifting clay soil. A pipe breaks inside your concrete foundation. You might not even know it's happening, but it can be silently dumping tons of water under your home, ruining your foundation and costing you an absolute fortune. Next, water heater failure. And you can thank Hutto's hard water for this one. All those minerals we talked about, they settle at the bottom of the tank and form this thick layer of sediment. The burner then has to heat through that layer, which basically cooks your water heater from the inside out. It's why you hear those popping noises, and it's why they fail so much faster here, often ending in a big, wet mess. And remember those old galvanized pipes? Here's their endgame. They get so corroded and clogged up on the inside that your water pressure just dies. You turn on a faucet and get a trickle. Your water might even start looking rusty or taste metallic. That's the sign that those pipes are about to give out completely.
And last but not least, the one nobody wants to talk about, a main sewer line blockage. This is pretty much the ultimate plumbing nightmare. That shifting soil cracks an old sewer pipe, tree roots find their way in, and boom, total blockage. And you usually find out in the worst way possible, when sewage starts backing up into your own home. Yeah, awful.
Okay, I know. That was a lot of doom and gloom. But here's the thing. You are not helpless in all of this. So, how do you fight back against the soil, the water, and just plain old time? There's a real strategy, and it's all about being proactive, not reactive.
So, let's look at a professional's playbook. How do the experts deal with these very specific Hutto problems? It's not just about running in and fixing a leak, it's a whole strategy, broken down into 3 tiers of service designed to handle the now, the later, and the long term. It's a pretty smart playbook. Number 1 is emergency response. That's for when things go really wrong. A burst pipe, a sewer backup, it's all about stopping the immediate damage. Then you have number 2, system upgrades. This is the proactive stuff, replacing those old, weak parts before they have a chance to fail. And finally, number 3, preventative maintenance. This is like getting a regular checkup, catching those little issues before they turn into full-blown disasters.
And this is maybe the most important point of all. In a place with problems this specific, you absolutely cannot use a generic fix. It's just guaranteed to fail. A solution that works perfectly fine somewhere else will probably fall apart in Hutto in a couple of years because it wasn't designed for this soil and this water.
Which really brings us to the main takeaway here. When it comes down to it, local knowledge wins. Every time. It makes all the difference between a temporary patch that's just going to break again and a real lasting solution. It's about knowing why things are failing in Hutto, not just fixing the symptom.
I love this quote. We engineer solutions that last in Hutto conditions, not generic fixes that fail in 2 years. And that says it all, right? It's not just about patching a leak. It's about engineering a solution that understands how the ground moves here, how the water acts, and building something that's truly meant to last. So, I'll leave you with this final question. Now that you know all this, is your home's plumbing really prepared for Hutto? How ready is it to handle what's happening under the ground and inside its own walls? It's definitely something to think about, preferably before you hear that first little gurgle.